Had 100 phones and they ain't bring but one. I don't think. Yeah, they all. Oh, I didn't want to get in. All of my murder problem. What's up, Facebook?
You can talk after the show. I'm going to talk to you about some of the sponsors and tip sponsors.
Okay.
I have fun.
Yeah, we got to step it up. Oh, oh, he wanted to do that. Oh, well, he could definitely run him on. Oh, did he? He's been on the show a couple of times. I got his artwork in my house. So I had it in my house. When I get my house again, I'll have his artwork in there. Well, when my house is done, how about that?
The houses, I want to bring back painting here.
Oh, yeah.
Bring him back. Him and Tim.
Get them booked. Fill us up. Let's do it. I'm supposed to have a meeting after the show. The way my life is set up, I got a doctor's appointment with MJ at 1:15. They had to reschedule yesterday to today, and what can I do? Yeah, that's life. That's parenthood. What's up, Facebook? Happy Thursday. Oh, I sent you. Did you see it? And I need to show you. Smile. God loves you. Put it all in his hands.
It's already there.
You walk in like you about to flip it. I think I left the white on for you, did I?
Oh,
You look nice with these red, orange lips. Uh, he's the master of it. You can enter the studio when you're ready.
nice, very nice. Did you get the one of the show too? Yeah, you're probably pretty excellent. Woo!
Oh,
I know, right?
all right. Okay.
15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2.
No matter what you're going through, all you have to do is put it in his hands. If you're sick, put it in his hands. If you're sad, put it in his hands. If you're going through grief, put it in his hands. If you're upset, put it in his hands. If you're having financial issues, put it in his hands. Because when we put it in the master's hand, he can take care of it. It's your main man, Action Jackson, and it is my favorite day of the week. You're rocking with the Brunch Bunch right here on 1390, and I'm proudly posted with the red lip bandit herself.
What's up,
Is it
Believers?
red?
No, it's
No.
orangey red. But you know what? Haters will hate. That's gay. They got one job, but we got a job to do today, and I Promise you, we're gonna do our job. It's your girl Tamira Fair on the air, and I am super excited about Friday Eve,
That is right. This is your favorite day. Well,
baby.
before your favorite day.
Well, this
So you
is
got two favorite
you
days.
got that right.
Oh, I love it. Well, you know what? On this Throwback Thursday, I want to take a minute just to say every one of us is standing on something, on somebody, on the prayers of a grandmother who never got to see the life you're living right now, on the backs of folks who marched, who worked, who believed in a tomorrow they would never touch. That's the throwback that matters most. Not just the music, but the people. The ones who planted seeds in soil they knew they never. Now, here's what I want you to hold on to today. The same God who carried them is carrying you. Your past was preparation, your present is purpose, and your future is already taken care of. I said, put it all in his hands. I'm putting grief in his hands.
That's
Today, a
so good.
cup made me cry.
Really,
If I was a preacher, that may be a nice sermon. A cup made me cry.
your cup
Now,
is
listen,
overflowing.
MJ told me that he was mad at his mommy
Oh,
because she left him. That didn't make me cry. Maddox wakes up every night at about 2 in the morning screaming and crying. And I could have swore I heard him say G, and one night I thought he said mommy. And that didn't make me cry. My nephew pulled me to the side this morning. I said, "Can I talk to you?" And I said, "I'm rushing." Then I could see in his face that he really wanted to talk. And I'm like, "You can't let people, down like that." So I said, "What's up?" And he just looked at me and he started boo-hooing crying. He said, "Valencia's death is really hurting me." He said, "I can't believe I have to experience this type of grief again after losing both my parents." And he just cried. He said, "I know it's hard for you." That didn't make me cry,
mm.
but a cup made me cry.
Well, what
I
kind of
went
cup
to
was
it
it?
was a Starbucks venti refresher. I went to Starbucks in Oak Park that I hadn't been to since before Valencia died. And I'm in the car and I went on the app to order. And when I opened the app, I realized I hadn't opened the app to order from Starbucks since Valencia used to make me go get a Starbucks. And I unconsciously, I was trying to get me some coffee. I ordered the refresher. And when I got in there and saw the cup, I just started crying.
Wow.
And so I said, you know what? I'm not even gonna be upset. I'm crying. I'm gonna take hold of this grief. I'm gonna
Yeah.
cry, and I'm gonna put it in God's hand. And so then I started looking at memories and videos, and you know what?
To make
It
you
made me happy.
right. Because the memories and videos are there for a purpose. Because we used to only be able to rely on the memories, right?
Yeah,
Now we have documented footage that we can keep playing back, keep playing back. That was usually only relegated to people who were in the arts, right?
yeah,
Or people who took a lot of home videos.
yeah.
But even with the home videos, they
You
lose
couldn't
them.
just play them right away. I asked my mother about an old video. She like, I don't know.
Right.
But you know what? On the way in, I was reminded of the scripture, Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. And I took comfort in that, in knowing hope and a future. So whatever you walking in and carrying today, set it down for this next hour because somebody fought for you to be here and somebody's still watching over you. We got a beautiful show for you today. You know what? As Charmaine would say, call your friends and your frenemies and tell them to tune in to the Brunch Bunch right here on Inspiration 1390.
You know, some kind of story.
I said, Lord, the cup that made me cry.
Almost made me cry.
Thank you. I'm like, I got a million devices these days. I'll make it up. Hey, Miss
What's up?
Kathleen,
What's
Elder
up? What's
Adams.
up, y'all? Hey, Kathleen Lee, Elder Ulysses Adams. What's happening? You know what? I gotta tell y'all a story today, and it's
Oh, we need to start Tammy's story time.
yeah,
That'd be a nice segment.
it's Tammy talks.
Oh,
No, I gotta tell y'all a story today. This is
yeah.
a terrible story,
Uh-oh.
but you know what? I'm gonna make it right, or maybe you guys can make it right. I'm not sure.
You okay?
Me?
Yeah, we're waiting on the story.
I'm telling it on the air.
Oh, that's your in the row. I'm like, wait, man, did the story just mute you? Okay.
Mm-mm.
Oh, well, you got to stay tuned to hear the story. Oh, you should have told them that before we went to break.
Mm. Why? Because it's a time limit.
No, I'm saying you should have told them I'm going to tell a story so
Oh,
they
shit,
could say
shit.
it.
Well, let me tell you something. What? Not you, Josh. You just abandoned me. I'm so happy to see you, though. Thank you.
DJ Brandon, I forgot to tell you, said he's a little upset with his girlfriend
He
Tammy.
did tell me
Oh,
that.
he
He
told
texted
you.
me that.
Okay, yeah.
But you know what? That same day, Mariah was getting dressed to go out.
And you had to help your baby. Wait, on prom.
No, you would have thought it was a prom,
Oh, for real?
but it was her boyfriend took her out to
To
dinner.
hear her boyfriend, which is,
Oh,
oh my
right.
goodness.
She ain't never said that nobody was her boyfriend,
I know.
honey.
I need to meet this Negro.
Who said he was a Negro?
He better be.
There's something wrong with the people around me, right? Well, what does that say about me? I attract these kind of people. The laws of attraction are absolutely real.
You know what? I believe that. Oh, Lord, did the CD scratch? Oh, you didn't hear the.
I heard it was in the song.
Uh-oh. Oh, MJ is watching. Cause
Hey,
my
MJ, what he
yes,
said?
he asked you to
He
come
said
to the
he still
radio
was
today.
mad.
You know, he's moody. He's a Taurus.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
He said he was mad. I said, what you mad about? I don't know. I'm just mad.
He is tuned in because my mother just texted me, your screen is blacked out. We can't see
Oh,
you.
hilarious. I'm just mad. Oh, somebody called me yesterday and said from Jamaica and told me that Ron said that was watching and he was like, you had a whole full conversation with a baby. I said, that's what I do.
Valencia love Ron daughter.
Really?
Remember, she's always talk about Ron daughter. How smart you were. Ron with the daughter. Miami, she said she was gonna be prime minister or something, right? Your childhood friend.
Oh, no, no, no. That's Steve.
Oh, oh Lord.
I'm like, Ron, I got no daughter.
Get your favorite fragrance today. That's BEQUEE.
Mom, Miss Kathleen said hi. Jackson's mom.
Oh, hi,
Rita
Miss
said,
Kathleen.
stop playing with him. Miss Kathleen said, where's MJ? I need to hear his
I
words
know,
today.
right?
Right, our new co-host. As
He's
soon as I
great.
walked out there, he said, where you going? I said, where you think I'm going? To the radio? Can I go? I said, next thing. Okay, daddy. So, MJ, I'm here. I made it. Let me see this story we got.
Are you ready to take
There
off?
in a row.
Best way to reach new customers is by getting your message heard. And there's no better place than right here on Brunch Bunch. With thousands of listeners tuning in
No, I
every
ain't doing
day
that
from
story.
12 to 1 p.m. on Inspiration. 1390. Your business can gain exposure, connect with our community, and even be featured as a
You got
special
the
guest.
questions for the interview on your thing?
Me, no.
On the new script. Look at the new script.
Okay.
Be on like page 4.
I got questions.
Okay.
Brunch Bunch, where business, culture, and community come together.
What's the matter? Brace yourselves. Brace yourselves.
No, you know how I get when things happen, right? And I think that they're just egregious and people need to know about it so that they can stop it.
Yeah.
And some things have happened to me, and I reported it on the Brunch Bunch, and that's because I want to empower you so that my mistakes you can learn from and you don't make the same mistakes. You have the ability to make new mistakes. So I'm
Yeah.
going to empower you today about elder abuse.
Oh Lord, the oldest call you.
No, you did something to Otis.
He told me I'm gonna call the elder abuse hotline on you.
Well, so my brother, who is the caretaker of my mom,
Uh
right,
oh.
left to go to California because my brother has a series of medical appointments that he has to keep when he was in business, when he was in the industry. As you probably know, I think I've said this on the radio before. My brother is a platinum recording artist, right? And so when he was going from one tour spot to the other, he had a bad accident and in a limousine, and it turned his foot completely around. So ever since then he's had hip problems, feet problems, but that's not what I'm talking about per
Okay.
se. I am saying that because his doctors are in LA, where he left to come and take care of my mom. So when he has appointments he has to go back to LA. So he enlisted one of our family friends who was actually my daughter's nanny at one point.
Okay.
And so he enlisted her and paid her and told her at the time when they were actually making this agreement, this is what my mom needs. She needs dinner at a certain time. She will ask you to iron some of her clothes. So name your price and I'm going to pay your price, which he did. She did and he did. Well, as things will follow suit, people do the exact opposite oftentimes of what they say they're going to do.
True.
So what she didn't know is that my brother has the entire house, the camera
Cameras
and
line.
audio ready, right?
Yeah.
So he caught her. That evidently I was in Jamaica, so evidently there was a big storm the week that I was in Jamaica, and he was in LA, and so my mom was viewed sitting on her steps, and Robin saying to my mom, "You can't go up those stairs. Just sit there." And she sat there for like almost an hour, and she wouldn't let her go. Now my mother has historically been very feisty, but you could tell that she
Yeah. I'm
was
like, wait, Jackie
very
just sat there?
she was very afraid. And then finally she went upstairs and she went to bed. Then my brother saw her several times not feeding her and Jackie asking because you could see that she's visibly afraid of this lady. And so she said, do you think I could get some food today? And my mom, as I aforementioned, she's not the type of person who's very afraid. She's usually very feisty. And so she said, well, I don't have time for that right now, but I will get you some. And so I guess she fed her when she felt like feeding her. But then she was on the phone talking to some of her friends and saying how she was getting on her nerves and that she couldn't wait to leave. I want you to go back with me because she didn't have a job. And so my brother gave her a job. And then, if oftentimes when you get a job, you don't like the job because you don't want to do the job, right? You just want to get paid. Well, now that didn't really work out for us. So my brother said to her that he was going to call elder abuse on her. Well, my brother is not the type of person to follow through with it. I called elder abuse
Of
today.
course you did.
Of course I did. And I'm going to follow up with that because irrespective of how much of a friend you are to somebody, friendship is a reciprocating entity. If in fact I am your friend, I expect that you are going to be my friend. But if you're not, I expect you to just be human, right?
Yeah.
And being human would mean that you would not have conversations about the fact that my mom had spices. I would venture to say that a lot of people have spices in their cabinets that are old.
Oh yeah.
Ever since Dominic's was in, this is what she said. Ever since Dominic's was in, how long ago that was, and so my brother was like, "Well, why were you even in the cabinet?" So my brother paid her to iron my mom's clothes, and then she charged my mom $5 more per item.
No, she didn't.
She did. She absolutely did.
First of all, I know you're a changed woman. Cause you call elder abuse.
Hmm.
She would have just been getting abused. We were just in the barbershop talking about this. This is so funny. And my mother, who is tuned in, mentioned yesterday how much MJ loves her. Right? He loved my mama. That's his best friend. And she said now she understands how I was about my granny. And
Hmm.
one day, if we don't take care of her when she's old, MJ gonna be out there throwing rocks at the window like I did one night. I'm like, oh, y'all got me messed up. Y'all playing with my granny.
Right.
But no, I don't play about senior citizens, especially ones we love.
Yes.
Where this lady at?
Oh, I can see it. Well, she won't answer my calls. My cousin Gina is a fool.
Oh,
So, so, so Gina's like, oh yeah, this is not going to be just cut and dry like that. And my brother, he's still in LA, and she hasn't answered the phone. But I decided to talk about this on the radio because if it could happen to me, and historically, like you said, I'm a changed woman. I wasn't always going to follow the protocol, and I would take things into my own hands and make my own protocol. However, I am encouraging you, if you know about it, if you see something, say something. I'm also encouraging you, we have our own resident security guru that has been advocating for people to put cameras in their home, especially if they're caregivers, because you don't know what the motivation
yeah.
is behind a caregiver, and you don't know what kind of mood they're going to come in on when they come to work, right? So it is extremely important for caregivers or for people who have people in their families that are adamant about staying in their own homes. They don't want to be um, bunked up with you because they want to maintain their independence.
Yeah.
So the elder abuse hotline is 866-800-1409. It's 24 hours. That means I don't care what time you get up, what time you go to sleep. You can call elder abuse, and to get help for domestic violence is the same thing. 877-863-6338. Now,
Because you don't know, and I'm with Tammy. Because in my granny's house, I had it cameraed up. Like when my mother had found some help because my grandmother had needed help being bathed before she passed. And I watched the lady on the camera, making sure she was adequately bathed in my granny without just being, it wasn't too much in the business, but I wanted to make sure she wasn't talking to her rude. I'm like making sure she was cleaning her up, because I didn't play about my granny.
and make sure too that your that your loved one is not talking to the caregiver rude either, because
That's true.
it's equivalent of going to a restaurant, cursing out the waiter, and then eating the food that they bring you, because you never know what they're going to put in it because you've made them angry, right? So there is a reciprocating responsibility for the respect to go both ways.
Yeah.
But in this instance, my brother had footage that he's captured. He's also had audio that he's captured, and he's livid. He has a couple of more appointments.
Ooh.
But I want to give that number again: 866-800-1409. 866-800. Sorry, 800-866-800-1409.
Well, Tammy, this song is dedicated to you because not only are you a changed woman, you got to have Jesus to be a changed woman. And
Amen.
you know what? It's
Somebody
Murphy
better say
Face.
amen.
It's Murphy Face. I've got to have Jesus right here on the brunch line. I think you might have slipped to say her name, but
I didn't slip.
oh, you said
I said it on purpose.
oh,
Robin Rule. I said it on purpose. That's what I meant. I meant to say it. I said it.
gangster. Well,
Oh,
that was bogus.
Sam, you a good one because I was 15 when my grandmother passed away and I was ready to snatch her up. The nurse in the hospital.
really?
She passed. Yeah.
Oh,
So
We just talked
we
about
knew
this in the
for a fact
barbershop,
that
no lie.
the doctors and the nurses did something to my grandmother.
really?
For her
That's what made her pass?
Yep.
See,
Got to have
it's
Jesus.
definitely not me. It's definitely Jesus. I promise you. Because the closer I get to Jesus, the further away I get from gangsterism.
Ooh. Well, thank God, because
Yes.
you don't want to be getting countersued for fighting her and all
No,
that.
when you on 10, you don't care about all that.
You sure don't.
Right. So
She would deserve it as long as no cameras are around.
Now
this
that's when
time you're
you
talking about period.
that's when you see your cousin.
No, so Byron says, we got people to handle this.
Right. That is crazy. Fade this out, Zoe. We got a guest. I want to talk about this story.
This is nuts though.
That is crazy.
Yes. And I have the power to talk about you,
And you
and
call your
everybody knows.
family friends. It ain't like Jackie or Emblem. She
No,
could
Jackie
tell
can get
y'all.
around.
I'm right. She could tell y'all what this lady was doing.
But Jackie was absolutely scared because Mark got somebody else, and then she was shocked. Robin was shocked that Mark got somebody else. He was like, "Well, I know your service is no longer needed. You can leave." And so when
Oh, so he didn't tell her he saw everything yet.
no, he didn't tell her that. So then he said, "And you've been talking to my mother crazy?" No, I never talked to your mother crazy. You said this, that, and the third. No, I never said that. He was like, "Look at your phone."
That's the dream
Mm,
center dot com.
Well, I think you misunderstood. How do you misunderstand? You can misunderstand non-audio video, right?
right.
You can misunderstand audio and video because your words were clear, succinct, non-jumbled. There was no interference and there was no reverb.
She thought she was Shaggy. Called me in the shower. It
It
wasn't me.
I'm gonna catch her in the shower, all right? No.
That is nuts.
What made her think that there weren't cameras in the house though?
He told her.
Right.
He said, "I got cameras, audio, and visual."
Poor Jackie.
Now, my
Wait till I
mother,
tell Otis this story. He probably listening.
that's crazy.
Oh, Robin.
Oh,
I thought you
Rob.
slipped. You was like, yeah, because Robin did this, then you didn't say her
First of
name.
all, let me tell you something. I don't slip.
Yeah,
You know good and well.
you
Like I
can't
said
catch
it
us slipping.
No.
With mine. I showed you where. Did you check the bowl for me? Dang, man. What the, hey, bro. I ain't had to ask. You went to the bowl, hook a brother up.
Go to bequeeze.com and get your favorite fragrance today. That's
Get ready for
Queese.com. Bequeeze.
I've been talking about Robin.
That's what I'm talking about. Please do.
I'll tell you what's going on.
We've been talking about it.
You know, I jokingly said I'm going to talk about the neglect that the lady did to Tammy's mother.
Oh, Robin.
But we won't talk about that neglect. We'll talk about a long neglected piece of Chicago architectural history has finally found the second chance. The J.J. Walzer Jr. House, a Frank Lloyd Wright design home on the Great West Side in the Austin community, has been purchased by the nonprofit Austin Coming Together, a friend of the Brunch Bunch, Darnell Shields, for $125,000.
Wow.
Now, which I hadn't known,
Right,
but I'm
right.
glad somebody we know got it. And they have plans to restore and repurposed the landmark property. It was built in 1903. The home is considered one of Wright's earliest prairie school designs and helped shape many of the architectural elements that would later define his most celebrated work. The house's strong horizontal lines, overhanging eaves, and distinctive window design make it an important part of both Chicago and American architectural history. Despite its significance, the home has spent years deteriorating after the death of longtime owner Ann Teague in 2019. The property fell into foreclosure, suffered severe weather damage, and became the subject of preservation efforts by community and historic preservation organizations. Now, the building was eventually acquired by Fannie Mae before being transferred through a partnership involving the Community Investment Corporation and Austin Coming Together. Now, Austin Coming Together's executive director, Darnell Shields, says the goal is not to simply save the house, but transform it into a community asset that highlights Austin's rich architectural, cultural, and historical legacy. Now, leaders envision the restored home serving as a destination for visitors, educational programming, events, and neighborhood engagement while also helping drive economic activity for nearby businesses and restaurants. The challenge ahead is significant. Officials estimate it could cost more than $3 million to fully restore the landmark. I'm glad I didn't buy it. With hundreds of thousands of dollars needed immediately just to stabilize the structure. Years of neglect have left the house with major roof leaks, structural concerns, deteriorating stucco, and extensive interior damage. Now, still, preservation advocates are optimistic. Organizations including the Frank Lloyd Wright Building Conservancy, Landmarks Illinois, and Preservation Chicago have spent years fighting to save the home. They see the acquisition as a major turning point and an opportunity to preserve a nationally significant architectural treasure while investing in the future of the Great West Side, the Austin community. If successful, not if, when successful, the project could become a symbol of historic preservation and neighborhood revitalization on Chicago's West Side. Shout out to Darnell Shields and Austin Coming Together.
Congratulations.
Now listen,
This is a big feat.
oh,
A lot of heavy lifting.
but I know because I purchased a historic home, and I got called by the city yesterday because one of my neighbors reported that I was doing work beyond the scope of my permit, said that I was hauling concrete out of my basement, so that I must be doing structural work. These houses were built with concrete floors and walls.
Right.
So me just trying to renovate a bathroom and a kitchen, I had to haul out a truckload of concrete. So I know it. My GC said, "Man, the quote I gave you for this has gone up a little. We didn't know
No,
we
the
had to
quote is
do
the
all
quote.
this." I said, "But the quote is the quote,
The
brother."
quote is the quote.
I said, "I'm gonna have to send my partner to talk to you if we got any problems." But so
Who's your partner?
you.
Oh no.
Oh no, I ain't said you no more. You go call the department on them. I wanted old time to go.
Yeah. Well,
Flip the Tonka truck if you
well, let
had
me
to.
say this because when you hit it right on the head when you're renovating these older homes in the bathrooms, they had a concrete wall and then it's plaster on covering each one of the concrete, and plaster can sometimes be as sturdy as concrete. And when you are taking all of that out, which I don't see why you would take it all out unless you were expanding the room and had to, but when you're taking it all out, I mean, these homes were built like they were hurricane proofed.
Definitely. This house is built for better than Ford Tough.
Yeah.
Because when I saw the thickness in the concrete just in the first floor bathroom, the little powder room,
Yep.
that it was, man. I'm like, they really
So
built these houses.
for so $3 million, that's gonna you could uptick that easily.
Yeah, yeah.
Because anytime you do a renovation, you're gonna find something that wasn't visible once you open up
Oh
those
yeah.
walls. And so you're talking about electrical and bringing it to code, new piping, maybe asbestos, because they used asbestos back then.
They said, we found a little chute behind this wall. You want to look down there and see what's in there? I said, no. I said, because it could be a body down there. You can look first and you tell me. I don't know what they
It's
got in
probably a
these
laundry
walls.
chute.
Yeah, it was a dumbbell waiter
A
for
dumb. Oh yeah,
yeah, so from the
a dumb
kitchen
leader.
or whatever it is.
Because dumbbells is what. Yeah.
You know, you know what? But it's an exciting feat.
It is. And you know what? Anytime you see renovation going on in areas that are not necessarily renovation,
Mm,
not I won't say worthy, but doesn't have a lot of renovation going on,
yeah.
it does spark more renovations.
Well,
So I'm
it
loving
definitely
that.
does, and it raised property values.
Yes.
And this house, I believe, is located on Central Avenue, so it's prominent on the main street. And it's
Yes.
a beautiful home. And so,
And Frank Lloyd Wright, I mean, literally, he was way above his time with his creations. Anytime you got architectural anything, it could just be one piece by him. It's amazing.
yeah. So, shout out to Darnell Shields and Austin coming together. They're doing some phenomenal work in the Austin community. The West Side is on the move, and if you don't know, now you know. So you better get involved. And one of the things that the conversations that we keep talking about, we got to buy these houses.
Yeah.
We can't let outsiders come in because you think in Austin, we right next to Oak Park,
Yep.
and we had. I literally was riding down Austin today, and on one side is Oak Park, and the other side is Chicago. Austin area, and I saw a lot of people walking down the block on the Chicago side because you could get the same type of house across the street with your property taxes 70% cheaper.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. That's what people are doing in South Shore now, where
oh yeah,
because that Obama library is there, property values have been inching up, and now they're quantum leaping up. And I'm just happy to be a proud owner of
South
South
Shore.
Shore. Yeah, very much so. So I
Well, the
truly,
Museum of Science and Industry is even doubling down because of the Obama Center. They're opening their south entrance that has not been opened since the World Fair.
wow.
I think I heard it was a $14 million project. They're doing a whole terrace, a cafe. So when you leave Obama Museum, now you could just easily get
They
to the
not they've
museum.
been accused of a lot of things, but being dumb ain't one
Ain't
of them.
one of them.
If I was the owner of that museum, I would have done
Ken Griffin.
the exact same thing. Yes.
So look, you know what?
But I don't want to gloss over the fact that while we got things going on, Essence is coming up. The Essence Festival is coming up, and you know what? You just left New Orleans, right?
I did, and the lady at the security lady told me when I left, you should come back for Essence
Have
Fest.
you ever been to Essence
I
Fest?
have not.
I have been to Essence Fest, and I can tell you that it's nothing short of phenomenal. It's starting July the 3rd, and it goes through the 5th, the 4th of July weekend. And y'all, the lineup is everything. I'm going to go through this very briefly because I know we got a guest. But opening night. Cardi B makes her Essence debut, and Kalani and Lato. And then Saturday, Brandy and Monica share stage. And yes, together with the legendary Patti LaBelle. And Sunday, y'all ready?
Talk
Drum
about
roll, free, please. George Clinton Empowerment Funkadelics are bringing back the mothership back to New Orleans for the first time in 50 years. 50 years, y'all. Plus Babyface, Public Enemy, Dougie Fresh, and a whole history of music on one stage. But here's what makes Essence more than a concert and why it ties right into our guest today. Because when you talk about groundbreaking, um, people who are first in traditions, that's what Essence Fest is. But former First Lady Michelle Obama is opening the festival with a live conversation about her book and the daytime experiences, all about the U.S. building entrepreneurship, a film festival, a book festival, giveaways, book deals, and a brand new creator and podcast festival where Black women pitch their ideas live on stage.
shout out.
So,
We talked about the museum and now
yep,
Michelle. Uh, listen, great things are happening. I
yes,
I laughed because I saw a clip of Donald Trump cracking a joke. He said, Michelle Obama did a speech and you praised her. My wife did the same speech and y'all dogged her.
Because it wasn't her speech. It was plagiarism.
Yeah, well, you know what? We don't do plagiarism on this show. You know what? We keep it real. We tell you what's going on. We talked about the Austin community and what's happening with this Frank Lloyd Wright House. We talked about Essence Fest and how it ties to our next guest is doing groundbreaking, amazing work. And we talked about putting it all in his hands and grief and elder abuse. But you know what? Tammy is the essence of the next song. When your soul is anchored, you don't have to waver.
That's
You don't
right.
have to fight. Your soul is anchored.
You don't have to worry.
You don't have to worry. You know what? It's Douglas Miller. I wear an anchor every day because I believe that my soul is anchored. It's Douglas Miller. My soul has been anchored right here on the Brunch Bunch.
Welcome, Vanessa.
Hey,
How
hey.
are you?
How are you?
I'm awesome, thank you.
Good to see you.
Yes.
Finally.
I know, right? I know. But hey, life be like that.
Yes, you do. Do. Zoe, we only do about 2 minutes of this. Then we're coming to the interview. The questions on here.
I know.
Oh. Well, you check and see if you like
Do
which
I have
one.
the same one?
Yep. Yep. Because it tell us.
Well,
Yeah,
it's different.
well, just because you had more, it's just the layout.
Okay.
So we go to the vision, the roots and legacy, the journey and the future, close and the real.
What's up, Letitia? Happy birthday, Tanya.
Which Tanya?
Tanya, Englewood Tanya.
It's her birthday?
Yes, sir.
Happy birthday, Tanya.
Prime time. What? Frank, you want what?
Can y'all see me?
Today is a whole bunch of people that don't. Hey, Alice. Thank you. Thank you for joining.
Jessica, can y'all see my face on there? On my screen, boy.
What you eating? You gotta go?
Huh?
You gotta go?
It was chocolate.
Would you like a mint?
It was Twix. I got a Snickers.
Snickers?
Did you want some candy?
Almond Joy.
Someone else likes almond joy.
You too?
I can't stand it.
That's what I hear from
But I take a Snicker. If you're hungry, why wait? Grab a Snicker.
Oh, you talking literally?
Oh, yeah. Great service in here, ain't it?
I know, right? Y'all doing your thing today. Killing us with all this sweet.
All right, are you ready, Mike?
Yes, I am. I can tell you right now, I am very over ready.
You love this song, don't you?
Woo, yes.
30 seconds.
We at least had to hit up my soul of thinker part.
We should have heard. We should have
Here
played
you go.
No Need to Worry.
Are you two my Snickers?
Yep. Did you give me one? See? That's what happened. Vanessa, you know who this is? This Tara Sampson.
I said 5. I said.
Hold on.
Oh yeah.
And I said, listen.
My soul has been anchored in
Who sang that song?
Marcel.
That's what you know what. All right, we're going.
All right.
You should go and let him sing.
3, 2, 1.
The billows may roll, the breakers may dash. Oh, how I know that he holds me fast. My soul. I can't get nobody to help me up in here.
So okay.
It's your baby Action Jackson. You're rocking with the Brunch Bunch right here, Inspiration 1390. And I posted with the nuttiest, craziest moment.
It's your girl Tamara on the air, and I'm excited about this next guest.
You know what? I am beyond excited. And she is an Austin resident, West Sider, community builder, a writer, and a visionary who is reshaping what's possible on Chicago's West Side. She's the founder of Out West Gallery and Cafe, the publisher of the West Side Review magazine, and the creative force behind the pop courts in Austin. Please help me welcome the one and only Vanessa Stokes. Vanessa, welcome to the Brunch Bunch.
Thank you, Marcel.
So, Vanessa, let's start at the heart of it. For
Yes.
folks who haven't heard yet, what exactly is Out West Gallery and Cafe, and what made you want to build it?
Well, first I want to just say thank you for inviting me, and the other thing I want to highlight is my father.
Yep.
So my father had the first Black-owned photography studio in Chicago, and I've been managing his archive for 25, 30 years.
Oh, wow.
Manages. So before he passed away, we were working on, just preserving his work. So this space will be the permanent place for his work. And
What's
so
his name?
Darrell Crichton.
Oh,
So my father was born in Jamaica.
Oh,
And
go ahead. That's Tammy's favorite, our favorite place.
he's my brother.
yeah, exactly. Everybody in Jamaica is related.
Yeah.
So, that's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
All Jamaicans say that. But so he emigrated here in the 60s, moved to Sweden, started his work there and his business there, came back to Chicago in the late 60s and started his business here in Chicago, and has an immense collection of art. My dad did all different types of photography. So yeah, that was the premise of the work. Out West Gallery and Cafes to have a permanent place for his work. But the West Side is where I live, right? And art and culture is what I've been working on for the last 20 plus years, well, 30 plus years with my dad's work.
Mm-hmm.
But so having a home where cultural, just what it means to be Black, Black folks on the West Side, and highlighting our culture. So yeah, just very excited to bring a space like this in the community.
I love that. Well, Vanessa, something stood out to me, and I just got to ask you. Now, you call this a fusion of art, culture, community, and flavor. But I want you to tell us about the pay what you can model,
Yeah.
because that's not how most cafes operate.
No. So I got a grant from the city to create the space. So in the first iteration of Out West Gallery and Cafe, it was going to be like just a full on restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
But then as I really looked at the landscape of the community, I started thinking broader because we don't have a whole lot of sit down restaurants.
Yeah.
Right. And we don't have a whole lot of just infrastructure when it comes to business especially on Chicago Avenue, the namesake of the city that we live in, right? And say, what if instead of a restaurant with culture, what if we make it a cultural space with food? And so the pay at what you can model is basically for those who can't afford a good hot yummy meal that they could come in and get some food.
Wow.
It could be for free. It could be paid for by somebody else, or it could be whatever you have in your pocket. If you don't have anything, that's fine. But we want to make it accessible to everybody.
I love
it's
it.
Not just those who can afford it, but actual community members, which is everybody, right? So I think we have to be inclusive when we're thinking about spaces, especially along our corridors.
I love it. And speaking of the corridor and along the corridor, it's the Soul City corridor, and you'll be located at 5249 West Chicago Avenue. So that's right in Soul City, right in Austin.
Yes.
Why was it so important to you to build this in your neighborhood and not somewhere else? Like most people want to open a restaurant, they want to go where they're not appreciated, celebrated, or wanted. But you said I'm gonna stay right here at home.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's so much that the West Side has to offer. There's so much that Black Chicago has to offer, and I think that highlighting the community is for the members that live there, right? Like I want to preface that because I think that we highlight so many things that are coming into the community, but are they really for the people that live there, right? And I think that has to be part of some of the work that happens when we're developing the community, right? So I wanted to share, this some of my life and what I see is, important to happen inside where I live, so I can ride my bike.
I know that's right. And
Ah,
walk
You
and
know what I
let your
mean? So
kids
I can
play
walk.
outside.
Yeah, so do all the things that communities do when they're outside, right? And I think part of that is participating in what is actually in our community. That's where pop courts came from. That was what kind of, so this is like a catalyst. Pop courts is a catalyst for development on Chicago
Mhm.
Avenue. So this is kind of like an extension of that, since pop courts is right next door to Out West Gallery.
I'm glad you brought that up. So, the Pop Court, that's an incredible outdoor community space and basketball court at Chicago and Lockwood with the mural Malcolm X, Maya Angelou, Harriet Tubman. The city went on to launch 11 more pop courts across Chicago based on what you started. How does it feel to have sparked something that big?
Oh, that's a good question, Marcel. I don't really think of it as is a there's so much space. So that's kind of how I look at
Hmm.
community and also culture. There's so much space for us to have to do the things that we see are possible. So yeah, it feels great to be able to contribute not only to the community but to the city. And it, being a lifelong Chicagoan, it just makes the impact more, and it makes it just a very focal on the West Side, because I think that that is an important part.
Mm. So it's kind of like your father falling into the footsteps of your father being the first.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah.
first photography, first black photographer in Chicago to have a
The
brick and
studio,
mortar
yeah.
space. Yes, so that's amazing. So now this stretch of Chicago Avenue that we all talk about and love, we know about it, but not everybody in Chicago is familiar with. So can you? I know that it's called the Soul City Corridor, but for someone who's never been there, paint the picture. What is the Soul City Corridor, and what do you see it becoming? Because you're a visionary.
Yeah, yeah. So, I'm first, I gotta, shout out Malcolm Crawford, because he's the
Whoop, whoop.
originator
Shout out to Malcolm.
Yes, sir.
of the Soul City Corridor, which is now the Soul City Cultural District.
Yes.
So it's expanded. So that should let folks know that what's happening on Chicago Avenue is very impactful, and now it's a designated state cultural
District,
district.
yeah.
So now it's expanded to North Avenue to Madison,
Madison,
and then
Austin to
Austin to
Cicero.
Cicero. So now it's a larger space to incorporate all those other corridors, which I think shows just how impactful the Soul City corridor has had on the Austin community.
True.
So essentially, it's there to highlight, music, entertainment, all of the things that celebrate our culture on the West Side. So there's no other space like it. And Malcolm always says, and I'm going to say this because he always says it,
Yep.
it rings true, right? And he says, Boys Town exists, and
Greek Town,
Greektown, Chinatown, like all of these spaces,
Little Italy.
Little Italy, all
Where's
these
Black
spaces
Town?
are cultural spaces. And why can't we have the same in our community on the West Side? So that's kind of the premise of Soul City Corridor. But we have a lot of really great spaces that are coming uh, to the Soul City Corridor. So really excited about all of those spaces that are also arriving.
Yeah. Well,
Well, let
Vanessa.
me just
Oh,
give
go ahead.
let me give the quadrants of the corridor so people know if you are
Yes.
in the vicinity and you might not be actually in the corridor. So it's Chicago Avenue from Cicero to Austin. And so I'm saying that because we want to encourage more people to either come and patronize or come and participate in the entrepreneurship
Yep.
opportunities that are available.
40 Acres Fresh Market.
We
Yes.
got 40 Acres Freshman, PNC Bank.
Mhm.
We have
TNT.
TNT Fitness. Listen, I love to talk about TNT because not only did they show out and build this phenomenal gym, but they do booty boot camp. And when I pull up in the mornings at 8:30 some morning,
Oh
it's
my
just
God.
it's about 100 women in there. And sometimes I have to park right across because the street be sold up. So I just sit in the car and be celebrating them. Say, go ahead, ladies, go.
That's what they're calling it now, celebrating them.
I was wondering why Otis was sitting at the bus stop over there one day,
Come on, every day, always at the bus stop. Never catch the bus.
right. But we get it's a lot of things coming. We got Latricia May with L May. We have Batoya Sweet Treats.
Yeah.
We have, of course, my barbershop. Certified Cuts, who I just left this morning. And
Fabulous.
then my main man, Smokey Mo's, on some Fridays, pull his food truck up on the corner of Mayfield and Chicago Avenue. And some of the best barbecue you will get. And I'll be waiting on him to pull up. And then, of course, right across the street, I am building Soul City Studios,
Yep.
which we are listen, literally months away from breaking ground and starting construction. So that's exciting. But
But I
and
think it's gonna
oh,
become
and
a
then we got Batter and Berries
yes.
and the Bruce. Shout out to
Yes.
Wine T, who they started construction and they about to do an event space with a patio and a restaurant. So it's gonna be amazing, amazing. But I hear the question all the time. I'm sure you do. We all do. When is it coming? What's going on? Why is it taking so long? And I often tell people, development is not easy,
Oh,
and it takes time.
yeah.
But building something like this is not easy. You've been honest about the funding gaps, how grants only cover part of it, and how you've had to build a whole ecosystem just to make it work. What's kept you going through the hard parts?
Well, just being in community, living in the community, just being a part of what is happening, all of the growth. I think it helps to, just be a part of the the what I call roller coaster ride, right? Because it's the ups and downs of just business, right? And so I think as an entrepreneur, that's part of just just being an entrepreneur. You have to really learn how to be with the ups and downs of entrepreneurship, how to pivot, how to not stop.
Yeah,
It was like I become unstoppable in this work, because I'm doing things that I love to do, and I think that helps too.
Yeah.
Right? Loving the work, being passionate about the work, being just part of the community. I think that's what makes it very impactful
yeah,
because I live here. I move around in the community. I volunteer. So I think that all of those things help to create just the ease
yeah,
in doing the work.
I'm glad you said that, Vanessa, because from your Jamaican roots, that is a Jamaican mantra. If I'm your neighbor and you don't have any food and I got a chicken, we got chicken.
Yeah,
You gonna eat.
absolutely. I mean, I think that,
And the community will keep you sustained.
yeah, and that's what happened with popcorn. So I think it's a great demonstration
Yeah.
of how community can see themselves in something. Like, so for instance, we didn't put a fence around it because we wanted to make
right.
sure that it was open to everybody. I actually got a lot of questions from the
Like, why
community.
no fence?
Yeah, they're like, why no fence? It's such a beautiful place. People are going to ruin it. They're going to vandalize it. And we did get some vandalizing. It did happen, but we fixed it.
Yeah,
We kept on moving, and I think that that's what creates community. So not having a fence, letting people walk in and out. People pick up garbage. They have ownership
yeah.
of the space. So I think that that's that demonstration of what community looks like,
Change
and
the brain.
it changes everything,
Yeah.
right?
And it's been kept. It's been sustained. It's a beautiful court outdoor space. Time flies when you're having fun. And then I am getting comments on Facebook. I forgot the Roasted Leaf Cigar Lounge, AAA BNA,
Yes,
and the
yes,
City of Chicago Business Development Center is
yes,
on Chicago Avenue.
yes.
But before we go, how can people support you? Because we need to raise some
Yeah.
money. We need to get these doors open. We need
Yeah.
volunteers. How can they
Yes.
support?
So right now I'm fundraising for the actual capital development.
Okay.
So you can see me and the work that I'm doing, especially around since I'm a writer. I have a Substack and it's West Side Review, so you can see me there. You can also go to my Instagram page where I'm posting all the time and sharing just the steps in development, right? And what happens when you're developing space and community. So you can see me on Instagram at VEEC Stokes. And I'm on Facebook, Vanessa Stokes, LinkedIn, Vanessa Stokes. But those are the best ways to get at me and to kind of see the growth of what this is going to be. And I'm also doing some program development, some fundraising for that. West Side Conversation is kind of a space where we're going to be going around the West Side and talking about uh, community engagement as an art practice, which is the work that I created, and then also um, this solidarity economy and cooperative development.
Well, you know what, Vanessa?
Get at her.
Yeah, we gonna have you back. Get at a West Side Review, VEC Stokes on Instagram,
The
Vanessa Stokes on
BEEC, is that right?
VEEC Stokes, and we'll post it on our Instagram. Listen, let's give it up for Vanessa Stokes, Out West Gallery Cafe, believers in the spirit of the late great Reverend Clay Evans. No matter what you're going through today, whatever burden you're carrying, whatever's keeping you up at night, I want you to do what the late great Reverend told us to do. Go home tonight, go to sleep, pull the covers over your shoulders, and rest because the angels are watching over you. It's going to be all right. As a matter of fact, it's already all right.
It's already all
Samira
right.
Fair on there, I love you.
I love you too, but I also want to give a shout out to my girl, my bestie, Tanya. Happy
Happy
birthday, girl!
birthday! All right, believers, we get it done Monday through Friday, 12 to 1 right here on the Brunch Bunch. We out.
And we all here and we ready.
All right, we did that.
I'm gonna get those lights checked.
Good, D. Make sure they test well.
It's my damn hair kept going in and out.
All right,
We
you guys,
waste a
thank
lot
you
of paper.
so much for tuning in.
I'm gonna use the
My
iPad as my
sisters
script later.
are on here. Thank you. I love you guys.
I'm about to show you right
Tanya,
before
I'm about to pull up. Bye.
Tanya, I'll be pulling up at 5:30. Bye. WTRB, Chicago.